close your eyes and feel the late afternoon sun on your face. You're standing on a stone street in Rome, 128 CE, and ahead of you rises a building unlike anything in the modern world. Steam drifts from high windows. You can hear water echoing and splashing, even from here on the street. The scent reaches you before you enter. Warm stone, olive oil, wood smoke, and something else. Something distinctly human, the smell of a place where thousands gather daily. This is the Baths of Trajan. And for the next hour, we're going to experience it together, exactly as a Roman would have 2,000 years ago. Not as historians observing from a distance, but as visitors moving through warm rooms and cold pools, feeling marble beneath our feet, steam against our skin. We'll enter through the main doors. We'll feel the temperature shift from room to room. We'll hear the echoes, smell the oils, sense the weight of stone all around us. This isn't just history. This is time travel through the senses. So settle in, let yourself relax, and prepare to spend an afternoon in ancient Rome. You're walking through the Oppian Hill district as the afternoon light turns golden. The streets are busy with Romans finishing their workday. A cart loaded with amphorae rumbles past, wheels loud on paving stones. Someone is selling roasted chestnuts from a brazier, the smell mixing with the ever-present scent of wood smoke from 1,000 cooking fires. Then you round a corner, and there it is. The bath complex rises before you, dominating the hillside. The outer wall stands 60 feet high, built from brick covered in cream-coloured travertine. The stone glows in the afternoon sun. This building covers 23 acres. From here, you can only see a fraction of it. You join the flow of people moving towards the entrance. There are men in togas, their white wool draped formally for those coming from business in the forum. There are workers in simple tunics, their day's labour done. Some people have brought slaves who carry towels, oil flasks, strigils. Others come alone carrying their bathing supplies in small cloth bags. The entrance is a massive archway, tall enough that you tilt your head back to see the top. As you pass through, the temperature changes. Outside, the December air was cool. Here, in this entrance hall, it's noticeably warmer. The building itself seems to radiate heat. The sound changes too. Outside was the general noise of Rome, voices and carts and dogs and chickens. Here, every sound echoes. Footsteps multiply. Conversations blur together into a constant murmur that bounces off stone walls and high ceilings. You can hear water running somewhere. A fountain, perhaps. The sound oddly soothing beneath the human noise. The vestibulum, this entrance hall, is already impressive. The floor is covered in geometric mosaics, black and white marble pieces forming intricate patterns. The walls rise 20 feet to a coffered ceiling. Even here, in what is essentially a hallway, there is art. A niche holds a bronze statue of Neptune, green with age, holding his trident. People are moving with purpose, most toward doorways on either side that lead to the changing rooms. A few pause at the fountain in the center of the hall, drinking from the constantly running water. The fountain itself is marble, carved with dolphins. You notice the smell here. It's distinct. Underneath the stone smell, there's olive oil, strong and slightly sweet. There's sweat, unavoidable with so many bodies. There's the acrid smell of the fuller's earth, a type of clay some bathers use. And threading through everything, the clean smell of water, lots of water, constantly running. You move through a doorway on the right, following the flow of bathers, and enter the apoditerium. This room is large, perhaps 40 feet square, with a vaulted ceiling that rises high above. The walls are lined with niches or cubby holes stacked 3 high, where bathers store their clothing. Some are empty, some stuffed with folded togas and tunics. A few have slaves standing guard, arms crossed, protecting their master's belongings with suspicious eyes. The temperature here is comfortable, slightly warm but not hot. You can feel it on your skin immediately, this gentle warmth that seems to come from everywhere at once. The floor, you realize, is warm beneath your sandals. This is the hypocaust system you've heard about. Hot air flowing beneath the tiles, radiating upward through the marble. If you stand still, you can feel the warmth concentrating on the soles of your feet, then spreading up through your ankles. You find an empty niche about chest height and begin to undress. First the toga, carefully folded. The wool is heavy in your hands, still holding a bit of warmth from your body heat. The fabric has that particular smell of wool that's been worn, earthy and slightly oily. You fold it with care, the way you've done 1,000 times, the movements automatic. Then the tunic, pulled over your head. The linen is soft from many washings, worn thin in places. As it slides over your skin, you feel the coolness of the air against the moisture where the fabric had been. Around you, others are doing the same. The room is full of movement, bodies in various states of undress. Romans are not modest about nudity. The human body is natural, unremarkable. You see old men with sagging skin, their bodies marked by age and gravity. Young men showing off toned muscles, fresh from the palestra. The wealthy marked by their softness, by skin that rarely sees sun. Labourers marked by their scars and calluses, by the specific patterns of musculature their work creates. A porter's shoulders, a mason's forearms. The sounds here are different from the entrance hall, more intimate, the rustle of fabric being folded or pulled off, the soft thud of sandals being placed carefully in niches, the clink of oil bottles and strigils being set down. Conversations but quieter now, the echo less pronounced because fabric and bodies absorb some of the sound. Someone laughs, and the sound bounces warmly around the room, then fades. You hear the slap of someone's feet on the floor, the wet sound of skin against marble. You can smell the bodies more clearly here. Sweat, but also perfume, expensive oils some bathers apply before arriving. One wealthy man passes smelling strongly of roses, an almost overwhelming sweetness. Another of myrrh, darker and more resinous. A third carries the scent of cinnamon. These strong scents mix with the underlying smell of the room. Stone, wool, the lanolin in fabric, leather from sandal straps and the occasional bag. Naked now except for your sandals, which you'll keep for walking through the complex, you take out your bathing supplies from your small cloth bag. A bottle of olive oil, green gold and slightly cloudy, pressed from last year's harvest. The bottle is ceramic, cool and smooth in your palm, sealed with a cork and wax. A strigil, your scraping tool, its bronze curved blade worn smooth from use. The metal has that particular weight and coolness that bronze has, heavier than it looks. A small square of linen to dry with, though the slaves will provide larger towels if needed. The linen is coarse but absorbent, woven by your wife or purchased from the market. You notice the light in this room. High windows let in the afternoon sun, but it's filtered, softened. The glass in these windows isn't perfectly clear. It's slightly rippled and bubbled, giving the light a watery quality, as though you're underwater. Dust motes drift through the sunbeams, golden and lazy, moving in slow currents you can't feel but can see. They swirl when someone walks through the beam, then slowly settle back into their drifting patterns. The ceiling is decorated, you notice now. Painted plasterwork, geometric patterns in red and yellow and blue. The colours have faded somewhat, but in this light, they glow softly. At the corners, there are painted garlands of flowers and fruit, festive and welcoming. Your skin is adjusting to being bare. The warm air moves gently around you. You can feel it on your shoulders, your back, your legs. It's pleasant, this sensation of air touching skin that's usually covered by layers of fabric. You become aware of your body in a different way, more immediate, more present. The warmth finds all the places that were cold or tense and begins to soften them. You look around at the other bathers one more time. There's a camaraderie here, unspoken. You're all here for the same purpose, moving through the same ritual. A nod exchanged with a stranger, a brief smile, the democracy of nakedness. Before leaving the changing room, you pause by a mirror, a polished bronze disc mounted on the wall. Your reflection looks back, slightly distorted by the imperfect surface, the bronze giving your skin a golden cast. You look different here somehow. More yourself. You're ready. You step through another doorway and suddenly you're outside again, but inside. This is the Palaestra, an open courtyard surrounded on all sides by the bath building. The sky is visible above, now showing the first hints of evening, pale blue, shading toward gold at the horizon. A few high clouds catch the light, glowing pink and orange. The courtyard is large, bigger than most city squares you've seen. The ground is packed earth, carefully maintained and raked daily, slightly springy under your feet. Each step releases a faint smell of dust, dry and clean. Around the edges run covered walkways with columns, creating shaded areas where the temperature is noticeably cooler. This is where you exercise before bathing, and the courtyard is full of activity. To your left, two men are wrestling, their bodies slick with oil, grunting with effort as they grapple. Their bodies gleam in the afternoon light, muscles standing out in sharp relief. Their feet slide and grip on the earth, leaving marks and scuffing patterns. When one manages to throw the other, you hear the heavy thud of a body hitting ground, followed by a grunt of expelled air and a laugh. Then they're up again, circling, looking for holds. Nearby, a group plays Trigon, a three-person ball game. They stand in a triangle, perhaps 15 feet apart, throwing multiple balls simultaneously. The balls are leather, stitched and stuffed with cork or hair, worn soft with use. You hear the slap as each ball hits a palm, sharp and rhythmic. The occasional shout when someone misses and has to chase the ball. There! Watch! Left! The game is fast, demanding constant attention, requiring you to track multiple balls in the air at once. The players are good, their movements economical and precise. Others are lifting weights in a designated area. These halteres are stone or lead dumbbells, shaped like curved bars with weights at each end. One particularly muscular man is doing a series of movements, weights in each hand, his muscles flexing and relaxing rhythmically. His breathing is loud and measured, in through the nose, out through the mouth, timed to his movements. Up, breathe in. Down, breathe out. The weights clink softly when he sets them down between sets. A group of younger men practice with a medicine ball, a large leather sphere filled with sand. They're throwing it to each other, catching it against their chests with oof sounds, then tossing it back. It's heavier than the trigon balls, and you can see the effort in their movements, the weight of it. To jog. The perimeter of the courtyard is about 400 feet around, and there's an informal track along the covered walkway where several others are running. You start moving, feeling your body wake up. Your legs find their rhythm quickly. Your muscles begin to warm. Your breathing deepens, becomes more regular. Your heart rate increases, a steady thump you can feel in your chest, in your throat. As you run, you notice details. The columns supporting the covered walkway are marble, fluted with 20 vertical grooves each, cool to touch when you trail your fingers along one as you pass. The stone is smooth and slightly damp, always damp in this city of water. The ceiling above is decorated with stucco work, geometric patterns and floral designs painted in faded reds and blues. Between the columns you catch glimpses of the bathers in the courtyard, your view of them flickering past, column bather, column bather. The rhythm of running is soothing. Your feet hit the ground in a steady pattern. Left, right, right. Your breathing synchronizes. In, out, out. Your arms swing naturally. You feel your body as a system, everything working together. This is what you needed after a day of sitting, of thinking, of being still. Movement, physicality, the simple animal pleasure of a body doing what bodies are designed to do. After 3 circuits, you're breathing hard. Your skin is starting to glisten with sweat. You can feel droplets forming on your forehead, running down your temples. Your chest is slick. Your back is wet. You can feel your blood moving, your body temperature rising from within. This is the purpose of the paliestra, to warm the body from within before entering the warm rooms, to prepare yourself. You stop in the shade of the covered walkway, catching your breath. The air here has its own scents. Sweat strongly now from dozens of exercising bodies. The sharp, acrid smell of exertion. The leather of the balls, a particular oiled hide smell. The chalk dust some wrestlers use for grip, making them sneeze sometimes, coating their hands white. Underneath still, that smell of stone and water that permeates the entire complex, rising from the hypocaust vents. You lean against a column, feeling its coolness against your hot back. Your heart rate begins to slow. Your breathing eases, deepens. The sweat on your skin starts to cool, and you shiver slightly despite the warmth of the day. It's time to go inside, to the baths proper. But you take a moment first, looking around the courtyard at all this activity, the wrestlers grappling, the ball players calling out, the weightlifters straining, the runners circling. All these bodies in motion, all engaged in the same ritual of preparation that's been going on here for generations. There's something timeless about it, something that connects you to every Roman who has ever stood in this spot, preparing to enter the warm embrace of the baths. Most bathers enter the warm rooms first, but some prefer to start with the cold plunge. Today, you're one of them. You enter the frigidarium and the temperature drops immediately and dramatically. This room is stunning in its simplicity. The walls are white marble, pure and clean, reflecting what light enters through high windows. Each panel of marble is enormous, requiring tremendous labor to quarry, transport, and install. The veining in the stone creates subtle patterns, grey lines running through the white like frozen rivers. The ceiling is a massive barrel vault, plain except for a few simple mouldings at the edges, letting the architecture speak for itself. The room is large and open, designed to feel clean and fresh and uncluttered. In the centre sits the cold plunge pool, the natatio. It's big, perhaps 60 feet long and 30 wide, large enough to swim actual laps in, large enough that multiple bathers can be in it without feeling crowded. The water is a deep blue-green, absolutely clear. You can see the mosaic floor beneath the water, 8 feet down, decorated with fish and dolphins and octopuses. The tiles are tiny, creating incredible detail. You can see the individual scales on the fish, the way the dolphin's body curves mid-leap, the suckers on the octopus tentacles. The air in this room is cool and slightly damp. You can feel goosebumps rising on your arms and legs immediately. The contrast with the warm changing room is dramatic, shocking. Your breath doesn't quite steam, but almost. You can see it, just barely, when you exhale. You approach the edge of the pool slowly. The surround is marble, cool and slightly damp under your feet, slick enough that you have to walk carefully. You can feel the coolness radiating up from the water itself, even before you touch it. A subtle current of cold air that flows over the sides and across the floor. Looking into the water, you can see other bathers. 2 men are swimming lengths, their arms pulling them through the water in steady, rhythmic strokes. Their movements are smooth, practiced. Each stroke creates ripples that spread across the surface, catching the light. The sounds of their swimming echo in the vault, the splash and pull of strokes, breathing that sounds loud in the cold air, the occasional laugh or gasp. You sit on the edge, letting your feet dip into the water. The cold is immediate and shocking. It's not just cool, it's truly cold, fed by an aqueduct that brings water from mountain springs. Your feet look pale and distorted beneath the surface, the water acting as a lens, bending the light. The feeling is intense, almost painful, but not quite. Your body wants to pull away, but you keep your feet submerged, letting them adjust, watching them turn pink as blood rushes to warm them. You take a breath, a deep one, filling your lungs completely, and slide in. The cold envelopes you completely. For a moment, every nerve fires at once. Your breathing stops, locked in your chest. Your heart seems to skip, then pounds hard. Your skin feels like it's being pressed from all sides. Then your body adjusts or begins to. You gasp, filling your lungs, and the cold doesn't feel quite as extreme. Still intense, still demanding, but manageable. The water supports you effortlessly. You can taste the mineral tang of it when a splash hits your lips, clean and slightly metallic, like licking stone. The sound changes when your ears dip below the surface, everything becoming muffled and distant, replaced by the sound of your own heartbeat, loud and fast, and the strange pressure sounds of water. You swim toward the center, away from the edge. The water slides over your skin, cold and silky and dense. Each stroke requires effort, your muscles working against the resistance. Your breathing finds a rhythm, loud in your ears, echoing back from the vaulted ceiling. In, stroke, stroke, breathe out. In, stroke, stroke, breathe out. The cold is invigorating in a way that's hard to describe. You feel intensely awake, every sense sharp and clear. You can feel the exact temperature of the water on every inch of your skin. You're aware of your body in space, of the play of your muscles, of the air moving in and out of your lungs, of your heart working hard to pump warm blood to your cold extremities. You pass another swimmer, a young man moving fast, his face determined. You can see the strength in his shoulders, the power of his kick. Water streams from his body with each stroke. For a moment, you swim parallel, matched in speed. Then, he pulls ahead. After several minutes, you've had enough. The cold has penetrated deep beyond your skin, into your muscles, approaching your core. You're starting to shiver continuously, your body's attempt to generate heat. Your fingers are numb, your toes are numb. Even your face feels stiff from the cold. You swim to the edge and pull yourself out. Water streams from your body, pattering back into the pool in a continuous rain. You can hear it, feel it running down your back, your legs, dripping from your fingertips. Standing on the marble surround, you're suddenly colder than you were in the water. The air feels frigid against your wet skin. Water evaporating from your body steals even more heat. You're shivering hard now, your muscles contracting rhythmically, making you shake. Your teeth want to chatter. You need warmth now. You need the hot rooms. The cold has done its work, shocking your system, tightening your skin, waking every nerve. Now your body craves heat the way a starving person craves food. You pass through a doorway into the tepidarium, and it's like stepping into an embrace. The warmth here is perfect. Not hot, just warm, like standing in summer sunshine. After the cold plunge, it feels incredible. Your shivering stops almost immediately. Your muscles begin to unknot. You can feel the tension draining from your shoulders, your neck. This room is beautiful. The walls are covered in decorative marble panels, different colours creating patterns. Yellow marble from Numidia, red porphyry from Egypt, green serpentine, white marble from Greece, veined with grey. The effect is rich, but not overwhelming, each colour chosen to complement the others. The floor is mosaic, one of the finest in the building. It depicts marine scenes, dolphins leaping, fish swimming, octopuses with curling tentacles, shells, seagrass. The tesserae are tiny, perhaps a quarter-inch square, creating incredible detail. The ceiling is coffered square recessed panels, creating a geometric pattern across the vault. Each coffer is decorated with a rosette in its centre, painted in reds and golds that have faded slightly over time. But it's the warmth that dominates your experience of this room. It rises from the floor beneath your feet, radiates from the walls when you place your palm against them, hangs in the air like an invisible presence. The hypocaust beneath creates this all-encompassing warmth, and it's deeply soothing. There are benches along the walls, marble with cushions that some bathers have brought. About a dozen people are here, some sitting, some standing, all moving slowly, or not at all. The pace of the tepidarium is unhurried. This is a room for adjustment, for transition. The sounds here are soft, conversations but quiet ones, voices low and relaxed, the occasional sigh of contentment, footsteps muffled on the warm floor, and underneath everything, a sound you're only now becoming aware of. Water running somewhere in the walls, a soft gurgle and trickle. You find a space along one wall and sit. The bench is warm beneath you. You lean back against the wall, and it, too, is warm. Your body continues to relax. Your breathing slows and deepens. The light in this room is golden. It comes from high windows, but also from oil lamps in niches, their flames steady and bright. The light reflects off the marble walls, bouncing and multiplying, filling the room with a soft glow. You notice your sense of time is changing. In the cold room, everything was sharp and immediate. Here, time stretches. Minutes feel longer. There's no urgency. You could sit here for hours. Your skin is dry now, the water from the cold plunge evaporated by the warm air. You can feel the warmth penetrating deeper, reaching into your muscles, your bones. Your hands rest on your thighs, completely relaxed. Your jaw is unclenched. Your forehead is smooth. Near you, a slave is massaging an older man's shoulders, strong fingers working into tight muscles. You can hear the small sounds, the pressure of flesh on flesh, the occasional crack of a joint releasing, the man's groans of relief. The smells here are pleasant. The olive oil is stronger as the warmth releases its scent. You can smell the wool from cushions, the beeswax from the oil lamps, the clean smell of the marble itself, and the mineral scent of the water running in the walls. After perhaps 20 minutes, though you haven't been counting, you feel ready for more heat. Your body is warm through now, prepared for the intensity of the caldarium. You push open the heavy door to the caldarium, and a wall of heat meets you like something solid. This is not the gentle warmth of the tepidarium. This is heat with presence, with weight, with personality. It hits your face first, making you blink, then your chest, making you catch your breath. Then it surrounds you completely, enveloping you like a hot, damp blanket. Your first breath in feels thick, full of moisture, heavy in your lungs. The air here is not just hot but humid, saturated with steam from the hot pools, from the heated walls, from the breathing of dozens of bodies. The room is large, larger than the tepidarium, with a vaulted ceiling that disappears into the steam above. You can't see the top. The walls glisten with condensation, water running down the marble in thin streams, leaving trails like tears. Everything is wet, slick, reflecting the lamplight in watery patterns that shimmer and shift. The floor is slippery beneath your feet, and you walk carefully, feeling for purchase with each step. In the center of the room is the alveus, the hot pool. It's rectangular, perhaps 30 feet long and 15 wide, set into the floor with broad steps leading down. The water is steaming visibly, rolling clouds of white vapor rising from the surface like smoke from a fire. Through the steam, you can see other bathers in the water, their bodies indistinct, moving slowly, shapes more than people. The water itself has a peculiar color in this light, somewhere between clear and milky, the steam making it opaque. The heat intensifies as you move deeper into the room. It radiates from the floor, almost uncomfortable against the soles of your feet. You can feel it coming from the walls in waves, pulsing with the rhythm of the furnaces below. The ceiling, somewhere above in the steam, releases heat downward, creating layers of temperature, coolest at floor level, hottest near the ceiling. You're sweating already. You can feel moisture beading on your forehead, your upper lip, your chest. Within seconds, your entire body is slick with it. The sweat runs down your back in streams, gathers in the hollow of your throat, drips from your elbows. Your skin becomes a river. The sound in this room is different from any other in the complex. Everything is muffled by the steam and the moisture. Voices sound distant, softened, as though coming from underwater. The constant drip and trickle of water is everywhere, a liquid music, drops hitting marble, streams running down walls, the lap of water in the pool. The splashing from the pool sounds gentle, cushioned, each sound arriving wrapped in cotton. You approach the alveus and descend the steps slowly. The water is hotter than you expected. Your foot enters and the heat is almost painful, but not quite. A line between pleasure and pain that the water walks perfectly. You take another step. The water rises to your ankle, your calf, your knee. The heat is intense, demanding, impossible to ignore. You lower yourself completely in, step by step, until the water covers your shoulders. Just your head remains above the surface, and even here steam swirls around your face, hot and wet against your cheeks. The sensation is overwhelming in its totality. The heat penetrates your skin, seems to reach your very core, your bones, the marrow inside them. You can feel your heart beating faster, working harder, pumping blood to your skin to try to cool you. But there is no cool to be found. Your pores are open completely, wider than you knew they could open, sweat mixing with the pool water, becoming indistinguishable from it. You close your eyes. In the darkness behind your eyelids, all sensation focuses on your skin, on that boundary between you and the water. The heat working its way into every muscle, every joint, finding places of tension and dissolving them like salt in water. Your shoulders drop, your neck releases. Your jaw, which you didn't realize was clenched, goes slack. The minerals in the water give it a silky quality, different from ordinary water. It doesn't feel wet so much as it feels slippery, smooth, luxurious. When you move your hand through it, there's a gentle resistance, then a smooth glide, the water parting before your fingers, then closing behind them. The weight of the water supports you, holds you, allows you to float almost without effort. Other bathers are nearby. You sense them more than see them through the steam. The occasional brush of an arm or leg as someone shifts position, skin on skin, slick and strange. The sound of breathing, heavy and slow, everyone laboring slightly in the heat, pulling thick air into lungs, pushing it out again. Someone sighs, a sound of profound relief, almost ecstasy. Another makes a small sound in their throat, pleasure or pain, impossible to tell which. Time becomes even more elastic here than in the tepidarium. You might have been here 5 minutes or 30. The heat has entered a kind of equilibrium with your body. You're still sweating profusely, rivers of it, but you've adjusted. This intensity has become your normal, your baseline. The heat is all there is, all there has ever been. You let yourself float, tipping your head back until your ears are underwater. The sound changes immediately, becomes muffled and distant, replaced by the strange pressure sounds of submersion, the thud of your heartbeat, loud and insistent, the rush of blood in your ears. You surface and move to the edge of the pool, sitting on the steps so your upper body is out of the water. The air, though still hot and steamy, feels almost cool against your wet skin. You can feel the difference in temperature, the water hotter than the air, and the contrast is strange and pleasant. The walls here in the caldarium are less decorated than in other rooms. The heat and moisture would damage painted plaster or delicate mosaics. Instead, the walls are plain marble, yellow gold in colour, practical but beautiful in their simplicity. The steam creates patterns on them, condensation forming and running down, making the marble seem alive, moving. Eventually, an attendant approaches through the steam, materializing like a spirit. He's a slave who works the caldarium, mostly naked, his skin dark and glistening with moisture, his body adapted to this heat through hours of daily exposure. He carries a small amphora of olive oil and a bronze strigil, the tools of his trade. You emerge from the water and sit on the marble edge, the broad lip that surrounds the pool. The stone is hot against your skin, almost uncomfortably so. The air, though still hot and steamy, feels almost cool against your skin after the intensity of the pool. You shiver slightly despite the heat, your body confused by the relative temperature change. The attendant pours oil over your back, and you feel the cool liquid run down your spine, spreading across your shoulders, pooling in the small of your back. After the heat of the water, the oil feels almost cold, and you gasp at the sensation. He works the oil into your skin with his hands, spreading it evenly across your back, your shoulders, down your arms. His touch is firm but not rough, practiced from doing this dozens of times every day. His hands know the landscape of the human body, where tension collects, which muscles need attention. The oil is scented, you realize now. Something herbal. Rosemary, maybe, or lavender, or thyme. The herbs smell stronger in the heat, their volatile oils released by the temperature, filling your nose with their sharp, clean fragrance. Mixed with the olive oil smell, it's pleasant, soothing, almost medicinal. Then comes the strigil. The curved bronze blade, warm from being in this room, presses against your skin and drags, scraping off the mixture of oil, sweat, and dirt. The sensation is strange but not unpleasant, a firm pressure followed by a sensation of lightness, of being unburdened. The attendant works systematically with the efficiency of long practice. Down your back, long strokes following the line of your spine. Across your shoulders, shorter strokes, careful around the joints. Down each arm, wrist to shoulder, removing the mixture. Your chest, ribs to collarbone. Your legs, ankle to thigh, front and back. The scraping makes a soft sound, metal on oiled skin, rhythmic and somehow soothing in its regularity. Scrape, pause, scrape, pause, scrape. You can see what comes off, accumulated on the blade. A grey-white mixture, the physical evidence of your body's purging. The attendant wipes it onto a cloth after each stroke, then returns the blade to your skin. When he's finished, your skin feels different. Cleaner, certainly, but also more sensitive, slightly raw, tingling. Every pore feels open. Every nerve ending feels exposed and alive, hypersensitive. When a current of air moves through the room, you feel it completely. Every eddy and swirl, cool against your hot skin. The tendon offers more oil, this time for you to rub into your skin yourself. A lighter application, protective, soothing. You work it into your arms, your legs, your chest, and your skin drinks it in, absorbing it immediately. You're not done with the caldarium yet. After the strigil, it's customary to return to the pool for a final soak, letting the heat penetrate one more time, sealing the cleaning process. You descend the steps again, and the heat, though you've just been in it, still shocks you. Your skin, raw from the scraping, feels it more intensely now. Every nerve firing, you submerge completely, even your head holding your breath, letting the hot water cover you entirely. Under the surface, sound becomes distant, unreal. You feel suspended, floating, weightless. Your hair floats around your head, lifted by the water's buoyancy. When you surface, gasping, steam immediately swirls around your face, thick and wet. After a few more minutes, you've had enough. Your body is telling you it's time for the next phase, time for contrast. You need cold now, or at least coolness. You need relief from this intensity. The heat has done its work, opened your pores, purged your body, softened your muscles, calmed your mind. But you've reached the limit of what heat can offer. You leave the caldarium, moving through another door into a smaller room, an unctorium, a place for rest and anointing. The temperature here is moderate, warmer than the tepidarium but cooler than the caldarium. It's a recovery space, a transition, carefully calibrated to be exactly right. The room is smaller, more intimate, designed for perhaps a dozen people at most. Right now there are only 5 others here, and the sense of peace is profound. The walls here are painted, not marble. The frescoes show garden scenes, pastoral and calming. Trees laden with fruit, branches bending under the weight of apples, pears, pomegranates. Flowers in bloom, roses and lilies and poppies, their colours soft but vibrant. Birds perched on branches, sparrows and doves, their heads turned as though listening. The colours are gentle, greens and blues, terracottas and golds, earth tones, soothing to look at. The effect is peaceful, pastoral, reminding you of nature, of places outside the city, of countryside and quiet. There are couches here, wooden frames with leather straps stretched across them, cushions stuffed with wool. You lower yourself onto one, and the leather creaks softly, a sound that's somehow comforting, domestic. The cushion gives beneath your weight, cradling you, conforming to the shape of your body. The wool inside still holds some of the warmth of previous bathers, and it's pleasant, like lying down in a bed that's been warmed. Your body is utterly relaxed. Every muscle feels loose, liquefied by the heat. Your limbs are heavy, sinking into the couch, barely connected to you. Your breathing is slow and deep, almost meditative, automatic, requiring no conscious thought. In through your nose, filling your belly. Out through your mouth, releasing everything. In, out, in, out. An attendant appears silently, materialized without you noticing his approach, and offers a cup of water. The cup is terracotta, smooth and cool in your hand. The water inside is cool and flavored with herbs. Mint, you think, fresh and sharp, and maybe honey, just a hint of sweetness. The water is impossibly refreshing, shocking against your throat after all that heat. You can feel it traveling down, a line of coolness through your center, hitting your stomach and spreading outward, cooling you from within. The room is quiet, deeply, profoundly quiet. A few other bathers recline on couches, some with eyes closed, some staring at nothing, lost in the profound relaxation that follows intense heat. No one speaks. There's a shared understanding that this is a time for silence, for internal experience, for being alone with your thoughts or with no thoughts at all. The light here is dim. Only a few oil lamps, their flames low, barely flickering. The painted walls seem to glow softly in the half-darkness, the colours luminous, as though lit from within. Through high windows you can see the sky darkening, the blue deepening toward purple, and then black. The first stars are appearing, small points of light in the gathering dark. You can smell the oils others have used, different scents drifting through the air, temporary and gentle. Rose and cinnamon, sweet and spicy. Myrrh and nard, resinous and exotic. Cedar and almond, woody and nutty. Each scent drifts by on currents of air you can't feel, but know must be there, mixing with the constant underlying smell of stone and water that permeates the entire complex. Your skin is cooling slowly. You can feel the process, the heat gradually dissipating from your surface, rising off you like invisible smoke. But you're not cold. The room temperature is perfectly calibrated. You're comfortable, perfectly balanced between hot and cool, in a state of equilibrium. Time passes. You might doze. The boundary between waking and sleeping is thin here, permeable, easily crossed. You're aware of sensations, sounds, but in a distant way, as though from far away or through water. The couch beneath you, the cushion cradling your head. Your breathing, steady and deep. Your heartbeat, slow and calm. Dreams, or something like dreams, flicker behind your closed eyelids. Not narratives, just images, impressions. Water, light, warmth, movement. They come and go like clouds, formless, meaning nothing and everything. Eventually, you rise. Your body protests slightly, having settled into such deep relaxation, your muscles having found such comfort. But you move slowly, respectfully, allowing your body to remember how to work, how to support itself, how to move through space. But there's one more thing to do, one more experience the bath has to offer. You return to the frigid aerium, the cold room, for a final plunge. The cold is shocking all over again, even though you've done this before, even though you know what to expect. Your body, warm and relaxed and open from the heat, recoils from it instinctively. But you push through, descending the steps into the cold water, feeling it rise around you, forcing yourself to submerge. This time, the cold feels different. After all that heat, after all that relaxation, it's invigorating in a way it wasn't before. It sharpens everything, brings everything into focus. Your skin tingles, your nerves fire, you feel awake, alert, alive in a way that's hard to describe. You don't stay long, just a minute or two, long enough for the cold to penetrate, to seal your pores, to complete the ritual of contrast. Hot and cold, opening and closing, expansion and contraction, the full cycle. When you emerge, you feel different than you did entering the baths. Not just clean, though you are clean. Not just relaxed, though you are relaxed. You feel renewed, reborn almost, your body and mind reset to some fundamental baseline. Eventually, fully ready now, you return to the apoditerium, the changing room where this journey began. Your clothes wait where you left them, hours ago now, though it feels like days, like you've been on a long journey to a distant place. The fabric feels strange against your skin after so much time naked, after so much time with nothing between you and the water, the air, the heat. The linen of your tunic feels rough initially, confining, scratchy against your clean, sensitive skin. But as you pull it on, as it settles against your body, it also feels familiar, comfortable, right? The wool of your toga is heavy, substantial, reminding you of your place in the world, of your role, of the person you are outside this place. You dress slowly, taking your time, unwilling to rush. Your movements are languid, unhurried, dreamlike. The bathhouse has changed your pace, slowed your internal rhythm, disconnected you from the hurry and pressure of the city outside. Other bathers are here in various states of dressing or undressing. The cycle continues, perpetual and eternal. As you're leaving, others are arriving to begin their own journey through heat and cold, water and stone. They look at you at them, and there's an understanding in the exchange. You know where they're going. They can see where you've been. The look on your face, the looseness in your body, tells them everything. You collect your belongings. The oil bottle now lighter, most of its contents used. The strigil, clean and ready for next time, its bronze blade gleaming. The small towel, still slightly damp, smelling of water and skin. You tuck them back into your cloth bag, ready to bring them home, to bring them back tomorrow or the next day when you return. You move back through the entrance hall, retracing your steps from what feels like another lifetime. The sounds are the same as when you entered, the echo of voices bouncing off high ceilings and marble walls, the splash of water from fountains and pools, footsteps multiplying against stone, creating a constant ambient music of human activity. But you hear them differently now, with a sense of having been part of them, having added your voice and footsteps to the centuries of others who have moved through these rooms. All the Romans who have bathed here, sweated here, talked here, relaxed here, lived here. The vestibulum seems smaller now, or you seem larger, more present, more solid. You pause at the fountain in the centre and drink one more time, cupping your hands and bringing the water to your lips. It's cool and clean and perfect, tasting of stone and distance, of mountains and springs far from the city. You step outside, through the massive archway, and the evening air meets you. It's cool against your face, sharp after the warmth of the building. The sun has set completely now, and the sky is deep blue, shading to black in the east. Stars are appearing in increasing numbers, small points of light in the vast darkness. The first quarter moon hangs low on the horizon, a clean white curve against the darkening sky. Rome spreads around you, eternal city, city of stone and water, and 1,000,000 people living their lives. The streets are quieter now than when you arrived, the workday over, people home for dinner or gathering in taverns. You can smell food cooking, wood smoke and roasting meat and baking bread, the evening smells of the city. You can hear voices from open windows, laughter, a child crying, someone singing. But you carry the bathhouse with you as you walk, the memory of heat penetrating deep into your muscles, into your bones. The shock of cold water, invigorating and clarifying. The smell of olive oil and marble, of herbs and beeswax, of clean water running endlessly through stone channels. The sound of voices echoing in vaulted rooms. The feeling of complete relaxation, of having given your body over to the ancient ritual of the Roman bath, of having participated in something that connects you to your ancestors and to the city itself. Your footsteps echo on the paving stones as you walk home through the gathering dark, through streets you've walked 1,000 times, but which seems somehow different now, seen through eyes that have been cleansed and rested. Your body moves differently, looser, more fluid, muscles relaxed and joints easy. Your mind is clear, quiet, free of the constant chatter that usually fills it. You pass others on the street, some also coming from the baths, their bodies carrying the same looseness, their faces showing the same peace. You nod to them and they nod back, a shared understanding. You pass others going to the baths, still carrying the tension of the day, and you almost envy them, knowing what awaits them, the journey they're about to take. Tomorrow, you'll return. Romans always return to the baths. It's not just habit or cleanliness, though. It's both of those things. It's need, as fundamental as eating or sleeping. The need for warmth, for water, for the ritual of moving through the rooms, for the community of the bathhouse, for the transformation that happens when you give yourself over to heat and cold and steam and stone. But tonight, clean and calm, your skin soft with oil, your muscles loose, your mind quiet. You carry the peace of warm water and stone through the cooling evening air. You carry the bathhouse inside you, a warm centre, a still point. You arrive home and enter your house and you smell your home, familiar and welcoming. You'll eat dinner soon, simple food made special by your cleansed palate, everything tasting more vivid, more itself. You'll go to bed early, your body ready for sleep in a way it usually isn't, craving rest after all that heat and cold, ready to surrender to dreams. And tomorrow, when you wake, when you face another day in this great city with all its demands and pressures and noise, you'll know that in the afternoon, the baths will be there, waiting, steam rising, water flowing, marble warming, the doors open, the ritual ready to receive you again, to transform you again, to remind you again what it means to be human, to have a body, to live in this moment, in this city, in this time. Rest well. Let the memory of warm water and stone carry you into sleep. Let the rhythm of the baths, that ancient pattern of hot and cold, opening and closing, become the rhythm of your breathing. In and out, warm and cool, waking and sleeping. The baths will be there tomorrow, steam rising, water flowing, waiting.